Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a crypto life update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, especially that super thanks button down below. This is what I'm going to do after crypto and my one last investment in crypto. I've been in this now for about 4.5 years, and I will be in the next 2 to 3 weeks before October, I'll have one last investment in crypto. It'll be my last 5-figure investment in it. It'll probably be OMI, because that's the one thing I really need to dollar cost average on. Definity is my biggest holding, and that is, I have so much of that already, and at these prices I would love to get more. And I still might eventually, but it's just like put so much into that. Most of everything that I own is either in crypto or crypto-related companies like DACAT, like Definity Markets, Bloomsbury Money, etc. And I have an opportunity to get to do something that is outside of it that should yield. Like crypto, it's like, okay, you buy it once, you wait for it to moon, once it goes up like crazy, and you're never gonna buy at the very bottom, and you're never gonna sell exactly at the tippy top, at least not consistently. Can you get lucky? Sure. Gotten lucky a few times, but for the most part, you can't do that consistently. And you have about, in my opinion, and again, the opinions it could be wrong here, blow off top for Bitcoin and Ethereum, probably going to be either one of two areas. People that just really track cycles, like every 4 years. That's what the crypto cycle is. October, November, probably be a top for Bitcoin and ETH. Or you can go with the new frame of reference. Well, this might be a super cycle, and when you have new countries that are old countries that are now getting into crypto, they get their 2026 budget, then you might have a blow off top in, like January, February of next year when they get their new budgets. Everyone's buying Bitcoin and ETH. In which case, alt season at that point won't really run. Crypto, for most of us that are outside of Bitcoin and ETH in the top 10, won't really have an alt season for another like 6 months. So 6 to 8 months. Whereas if the blow off top on Bitcoin and ETH is October, November, we're going to get some December, January, February, and then we're good. But this one last thing is not, again, it's not going to be, I can't really talk about it until after it happens. I'll let you guys know. But my last 5-figure investment will probably be OMI. Because as much as I want to really buy more DEVVE, I feel like I have a decent amount of that left. And again, like in order for me to make like good money, really want to dollar cost average on OMI, because my dollar cost average on OMI is so high. For DEVVE, it's probably right around here. So I really want to do that on OMI. And DACAT, because I own the IP, I kind of have enough of it. But what am I going to do after crypto? What is this going to be? When everything does that blow off top in the next 6 to 9 months. And it could happen sooner, right? Like some things can pump for no reason. I'll pretty much go back to where it all started. I got out of the military late 2016. I started high risk lending in 2017. And that's where I originally made my first bit of money, taking business owners that couldn't get money from a bank, and I'll go in and I'll say like, okay, I'll reinvest in that business because I still have a couple of friends that do it. And for those of you that don't know what it is, it is hard work. You have to go in and look through hundreds of files that are applying for loans. Most of them are trash. But in that swamp of financial horribleness squatteth the toad of truth. And in that, you're able to find some gold, and you're able to go in and say like, okay, this person, the bank rejected it because they have a low credit score. And most people have low credit scores because they don't pay their bills. But this person, the bank said, was like over leveraged. But he's not. It's, he's owed a couple $100,000, and he had to take out his new materials for this job on credit cards, and he's taking what cash he has to pay his people. He needs working capital. He needs this bridge loan up until he gets paid on the stuff that he's owed. And we do those things all day. We do trucking, construction, etc. Um, and on average you get 24.99%. So it's really, really good money. So obviously when I go in and invest in that, I'm not going to be doing like any of that actual work. I'll just go in, and somebody that does it, they'll take my money, they'll use that to lend out to these business owners, and they'll take a piece, and I'll get a decent amount of return on it. So that's most of what I'm going to do. That's going to be, and I'll do that for 2 years while working on DeCat. So this DeCat company that I have, and I've shown the tattoo here before on videos. I think it was in my life update from August 31st, September 1st, whenever that was. That's going to be the main thing. I just had another call. So I've had a bunch of calls recently for it in the last couple of months, two of which people wanted to give me $100K just to buy it outright. And I was like, that's one's first offer. Hell no. One of the third calls raised a tiny bit of money at 150K market cap, which I realized I shouldn't have done now because that's really, really low. And then I had another call like a week ago where this one owner of a comic brand that many people know, and they just said like, hey, we've heard about you. We know you're going to be on VeVe. Like, oh, thank you. And they're like, we want to represent you. What does that mean? And it's like, we want to make sure that you're not listed as an independent publisher. We want you to be under our umbrella. You'll still own everything, so whatever. I was like, okay. Basically, they would take a fee from that, and not that we won't want to do that eventually, but we just kind of want to retain all of the profits for right now. This way, make the brand worth a little bit more. And next time we raise money, it'll probably be, I'd like to at a $500,000 market cap for the IP. If I can, I'll lower it down to 400. We'll definitely have someone buy there. And that'll be used for the anime. The anime that we're going to do, and animes, be advised, they cost like $250,000 per episode if you want it to be good. And again, it's a big risk. But Rashid Al Farouk, who is the owner of SpeedyCon, the largest pop culture event in the Middle East, has all those connections. We'll be able to use them for help. So that'll be really fun. So that's really what I'm going to be working on in the bear market, kind of outside of crypto. And again, this other business that I'll get in, and I own multiple businesses, parts of it. I'm never like the sole owner. I don't think I'll ever do that again. But I'll be writing the comics for DeCat and everyone else that I've been writing for. And that'll be fun. And I could do that from anywhere. I could do that from a beach in Mexico. I could do that from the San Diego Zoo. I love animals. And during this next bear market, I will go in and I will make a start on the Chavez charity that I had told people about years ago. I'll go on, and I don't know if I'll buy my first piece of land yet. The goal is to buy land in Madagascar. It is where that happens to be where most of the endangered species in the world are. I have a couple of friends that I served with that are A-okay with being perimeter security. And if any poachers come in, they'll take them out. And they're very happy with that. I'm happy with that too. So, and then also getting my body back in shape. I'm finally getting my back. It's no longer broken. So maybe in a year I'll be cool. I will be at New York Comic-Con. This year I'll just be in the area. Next year I'll be there with the booth for DeCat and everything I'm working on. So that's just what I'm going to be doing. In a year from now, I'll probably be 100% out of crypto. I might still have a little bit of Definity because, again, I own part of that company. I might do have a little bit of DEVVE if I can own part of that. Even if I could have a little part of VeVe, same thing. But what I have now, I'll keep for a little while until everything goes crazy. I will probably overextend myself and say like, oh, good opportunity here. Like what I'm doing. So I get a small payment at the end of this month where I'll get a little more OMI and then probably 10K into another company. So that'll be my last 5-figure bet. I might even do more. I might do 15. I'll let you know, guys, exactly what it is once it's done. It's very environmentally friendly. It's really cool. I can't wait to show you. And then there is a possibility that I get a big payment in November. It is through the channel. If that happens, the channel would be worth over $1 million. And once if that comes to fruition, at whatever time, whatever cryptos are down at that time or haven't moved yet, I might just ape in. But as of right now, I will probably, again, overextend myself for a couple months and that might not come in. I might be waiting for that. I'm just letting you guys know this is what I'm doing because I've always advocated for transparency. And again, at the end of the day, it's all going to go, 90% of it's going to go to charity by 2030. We'll have that. And I'll incorporate DACAT into it. I'll see what else I can incorporate into it. The goal is for DACAT to be a global brand within the next 2 years. It'll go out and sell out on VeVe. We'll try to make that an anime, and we'll see what we can do. Hopefully lock down some good music rights for it. It'll be really fun. But again, want to reiterate that I will be out of crypto. Like, I will be completely sold out of everything probably within a year. I'd say probably 6 to 9 months in that thing. I will sell a little bit too early because that's just what I'll do. I'll be like, okay, this did a 30x, time to sell half. And then it'll do like another 4x on top of that. Like, oh, I could have done, and anywho. Just letting you guys know that this will be the last crypto investment will probably be in OMI unless that big payment comes in November. It'll be at 6 figures. I'll go in and I'll make another video at that time. But as of right now, my last crypto investment will be a little bit more OMI, and then that should be it. So I'll let you guys know. Happy alt season. Everyone comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye, Dashi. Love you guys. Bye. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow.